Back, everybody. It's another Tuesday night here live from Runts Barbecue in Muskogee, the home for the Muskogee Rougher Football Coaches Show. We just call it the Runts Barbecue Football Coaches Show. And, Travis, that's a pretty good definition because it's more than just pretty good barbecue.
Excellent stuff, and I'm kind of a little frustrated right now because you've already ate and I have not got mine yet.
But you notice my empty space here. It's because I devoured
got
plate.
after that stuff. But, yes, no, excellent stuff. Looking forward to getting that in front of me here in just a little bit.
We're midway through the 2024 regular season. You're right where you want to be, perfect 5-0.
Right. No, it's a good place to be, a good feeling. I think our coaches and our kids are, I don't want to use anything like satisfied. Like,
no.
We got a ton of year left, but they feel good about it and everything else. But I do like the idea that you're 5-0 and our kids are starting to realize sometimes, Bill, you have to lose in order to gain and figure out. And you learn more through that process. I think we're starting to learn through the process. Programs mature enough that hadn't had to happen yet, and our kids are continuing to grow. So we've had, it's a day-by-day basis, and today, on a Tuesday, here we are at Runts, that our kids practice really well today, and we're learning through the process, picking up what we're expectations for in our game plan against Bartlesville this week.
Well, it wasn't quite as hot as it has been, but by Friday the temperatures are supposed to ramp back up. But, you're 5-0, you're 2-0 in the league play. What do you gain from a ball game like last Friday night where it's 44-0 at the half and then they turn the clock on and all of a sudden the game ends and it's over and done?
Well, you gain. You're not as stressed through the weekend and in preparation.
Unless you were in the press box where it was a smooth 95 degrees.
It is that warm up there, huh?
Yeah.
No, the opportunity to get over there, and like I said, we used that opportunity last week to work on some weaknesses of ourselves as much as we worked on Putnam City. And the other idea, you get a lot of kids got on the field. So that's nice, too. They enjoy it. The kids that you want to, you as a coach cheer kids on that work their tail end off out there, but maybe not in a position because they're young or not quite good enough right now to get on the field for you all the time. And for them to get that opportunity to get a few reps last Friday night down there at Putnam City, that was important.
Well, it was obvious that you could do what you wanted to do with your play calling, which is going to give you an opportunity to experiment a little bit, but then it also gives you a chance to, like you said, get a lot of players different opportunities, offense and defense. Yep. And then the most important thing perhaps in a game like that is you came home healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so with us still at this point in time in the year with all of our horses on the field, feeling pretty good, and that's a great feeling, and that's probably as comfortable as anything else you can say right now, that we got a chance to put our best shot out there every week. And like I said, hopefully this Friday we gain a lot of momentum and go out with some great preparation and play extremely well against a good Bartlesville Bruin group.
Through 2 weeks of the district play, Ruffers are undefeated at 2-0, 5-0 on the league on the year. The only team in the district that is undefeated so far this season, then it's Sand Springs, Putnam City North, and Sapulpa all at 0-2. And then Friday night's opponent, Bartlesville, along with Ponca City, Capitol Hill, and Putnam West, still looking for win number 1 in district play.
Yep. Bartlesville's had some tough luck, so to speak. Sometimes you wonder about that. But, boy, they've lost so many close games. And that's not even this year. You just extended it into last year. Mm-hmm. So, but, nope, those other teams, and Bartlesville being one of them, coming to town this week, 0-2 in district play. And hopefully we can keep it that way.
We'll talk more about Bartlesville and what you plan to do offensively and defensively, but let's add in one other, I don't want to call it a distraction, but an opportunity for things to maybe get a little more complicated.
It's a
when
distraction,
you have
Bill. It's a
homecoming.
Distraction. Yes, homecoming. Big word there for head coaches and coaches in general. We got Coach Ficklin here. He's got a big smile there, too. Our kids have always handled it well in the past. Now, there is some frustrating things here. I'm sure that probably I don't need to be, we've always had school and gone about our business the same way. This year we got no school and a parade and everything else, and sometimes you wonder, as the important, are we expecting to make it a great effort for the football game, or are we just putting on a show? I hope we can make it a great effort for the football game. What my intent is starting tomorrow is to start coaching that arena and our Friday agendas and everything else, what we got going on and how important it is for us to handle our business properly.
We got a couple of seniors that will join us here a little bit later. Andre Beasley and Edward E.J. James will be our guest here, and I'm going to find out which name does he like best, Edward, E.J., or just give me the ball. We'll find out a little bit more about that as the night goes along, but it'd be interesting to hear their take on how they keep their focus despite all the other things going on.
Yep.
We're going to take our first time out tonight here on the Tuesday night Runts Barbecue Muskogee Rougher Football Coaches Show. When we come back, we'll give you a chance to meet a gentleman whose last name, well, he's the father of the Muskogee quarterback, Justin Ficklin. He'll be our guest when we return to Runts Barbecue here on the Coaches Show.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words. Wow! That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell him, Rick. Wow! New Silverado's 1.9% financing or $5,600 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New Silverado's 1.9% financing.
Wow!
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Welcome back on the Tuesday night Muskogee Rougher Football Coaches Show. We're live each and every Tuesday night from Runt's Barbecue, the home of a little better barbecue and some really good seafood.
Yep.
I'm seeing a lot of food on Coach Hill's plate. I'm seeing fried shrimp, grilled shrimp any way you want it here at Runt's Barbecue. It kind of reminds me of
But here's what the glory is those big old good-looking ribs.
Those
right there.
barbecue ribs they're mouth-watering good for sure.
I got to say that for after show, Bill, because it ain't good to have that all over your fingers and mouth while you're.
It won't look good on that white shirt either.
No, sir. No, sir.
Before we get into our coaches' conversation, let's talk a little bit about another group of players that are continuing to get better day by day, and that's your younger players in the 8th and 9th grade programs.
Yep. No, we got the opportunity. They play again this evening. They actually got Sand Springs coming over this evening, so it'll be a couple of good games. And no, both those programs are having a lot of success. Coaches are doing a great job, and the kids are doing a great job. And their eligibility, all those little things that come into play for our young people, they're improving every year. So we're excited about it.
In this segment, we give you a chance to meet one of the members of the coaching staff.
Yep.
Our guest tonight is Justin Ficklin, who is the defensive back coach. And I think in charge of cornerbacks? Corners, yeah, the corners, not quarterbacks, even though he does talk to the quarterback every so often.
He does.
But in charge of the cornerbacks, that's the defensive side of the football. And, Justin, I mean, what's it like being on the sideline on the defensive side? Because I know you've always been kind of an offensive-minded guy.
I think I prefer the defensive side. I played college ball on the defensive side, so –
tell us a little bit about that road to glory and what brought you from Mississippi all the way to Muskogee. You changed one M for another one.
So after I finished high school, I ended up going to East Central Community College. That's in Mississippi, Decatur, Mississippi. Mm-hmm. After I finished there, I transferred over to Bacone College, where I played 2 years at Bacone.
Now you said Mississippi. Did I say it right? Say it again. Decatur where?
Decatur, Mississippi.
Mississippi. Okay.
Yeah.
The emphasis has to be on the right syllable.
No, there's a special way when you go down south to say certain things. Yes,
it's kind of like, is it Louisville or is it Louisville? It just depends on what side of the river you're standing on. But let's talk a little bit about your responsibilities with those cornerbacks and what things you're watching, what things you're coaching up the players to perform at their best.
At this point, I have pretty much an all-senior group with the junior. It's technique. They have the athletic ability to do what's needed. It's now technique, and that's what we're kind of pounding is the technique of playing the coverages that we want to play.
Talk about those coverages and how you go from one to the other depending upon the opponent.
Depends on what we see with the offense. If there's 2 or 3, we disguise our coverages throughout the game. The boys do a really good job of seeing this throughout the week and know, what we plan on lining up to from game to game.
When you're looking from your vantage point, on the field or up in the box?
On the field.
On the field. What are you seeing from the field that enables you to communicate? Because sometimes the communication, you're trying to get a cornerback's attention and he's 50 yards across the field and there's a lot of people in the way and a lot of noise too. How do you make that communication with people like Andre, EJ, and others that are in that secondary unit to get the right call and the right coverage?
So that's what we have to entrust in the kids to understand. We communicate from the sidelines, and it goes from each player through. So if I'm on my sideline, I expect when EJ hear me give it a call, relay it to the safeties, and the safeties relay it over to the corners to the other side of the field.
Now, how much does that also help you when you're talking to some of those guys over on the other coaches' room on the defensive side, helping out the offense and vice versa? How do you guys communicate back and forth to get the best out of both sides?
The thing is, most high schools run the same coverages, and so when the offense need a scheme, they say, we want you guys to run this, and we just go to what we run and just tell the boys, hey, this is what we're running for this week. For that.
Now, you're going to have to explain this one because I've grown up to know you, since you've been here, and I haven't known you by Justin Ficklin. Mm-hmm. I've known you as Buki. You got to tell me and our viewers and listeners where the name Buki comes from. And how is it something like Bird or something like that?
Kind of. When I was born, my auntie, rest in peace, she gave me that name. I really don't know why to this day she gave it to me, but it was a name that stuck with me. And so it was me and my 2 other cousins. One name was Spanky, the other name was Milk Cow. And I got stuck with Bookie. And so it's just a name that's always stuck with me.
And it seems to work very, very well for you. You've kind of shared that with your coaching cohorts. And, it's all about relationships. And I know you're a big guy on relationships, not only with your players, but also with your fellow coaches.
Yes, sir.
You got to be tough-skinned if you're going to go in that defensive coach's room.
Oh, yes. It's a lot of personalities in the coaches in the defensive.
Yeah, there's about
room.
8 of them to be specific.
Yes, I really enjoy it because that's a great group of guys in there. Just with the whole coaching staff, I just feel like you can talk with any one of those guys and you'd be able to connect with them. So I really enjoy being on that staff.
And it's nice, Travis, having guys like Justin and the other members of that defensive staff that aren't afraid to share their opinions and share their thoughts. But then when it's all said and done, when you walk out the door, it's kind of like you talk about 11 is one. Well, it's 8 is one or 6 is one or whatever that group of coaches are. It's all of one accord and everybody's on the same game plan.
No, they have been told by me to say open up, express, let's communicate. I want to hear what your thoughts are, and I just think that's it's just a very, very good environment, and we got to narrow it down. Obviously, we can't put everything there, and that's what you're saying is as we walk out, whether as a coach my expressions, my ideas worked or we're using them or not, they're all put behind at that point in time, and we go out and work it together. So it's a good group, lots of experience, lots of different angles, lots of different arenas, and where they grew up and how they all of this. So it's a wonderful group. Exciting group, and like I said, you better have a little thick skin around them because they're not afraid to get after each other a little bit too.
Well, you can't go in there with any type of excuse because if you do, you're going to pay a price for it. Am I right, Boogie?
Yes, sir.
All right, now I want to talk a little bit about family. It's obvious the name Ficklin here in Muskogee is very well known, primarily due in part to his son, Jamarian Ficklin, as the Ruffers quarterback. You also have a daughter that's at the University of North Texas. That's a pretty gifted, talented dancer. Mm-hmm. Now, does she get those dance moves from you?
I think she probably get it from Mom.
Sort of say. I thought Mom probably would be quick to take advantage of that. But I know you're equally as proud of both kids when they go and you see them succeed. But more importantly, not just succeed in their competition, but be maturing young men and women.
Yes, sir. I'm very proud of both. I always say both are just great kids, especially to have around. And at this point, I'm kind of missing daughter.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a difference. But
And you're able to communicate with her a little bit more than what you maybe can with Bird because of the texting rule. You can text back and forth with her anytime you want.
Yes, I can text from her anytime. But when Bird try to text, I have to remind him I'm coach now. So
yeah, you got to go through
talk
mom.
to mom about anything you need.
Now, you also put a lot of miles on the car, too, because as soon as the game's over, you're either headed off on another recruiting trip or go a visit down to Texas State, or you're headed over to watch her on the dance field.
Yes, the last weekend was our first weekend not on the road, and it felt really good. So the past 3 or 4 weeks, we've been back and forth to Texas right after Friday night.
So you come out of the SEC country. You come out of Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Did I say it right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Now, there's a big game south of the Red River this week in Dallas between OU and Texas. Mm-hmm. You got a favorite there?
I don't care. I hope both teams lose.
Spoken like a true Mississippi fan. All right. Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Which is your favorite?
Ole Miss.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Go Rebels, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to take our next time out. When we come back, we're going to meet two of Coach Ficklen's players. They play on the defensive side of the football, E.J. James and Andre Beasley, who also get a little over on the offensive side, too, most Friday nights for the Ruffers. We'll meet those Ruffers when we come back to Runt's Barbecue after this timeout.
Runt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Runt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Runt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Runt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Nobody beats the All-Star teams. Now with 2 dealerships right off of West Shawnee Bypass. Together, Honda of Muskogee and All-Star CDJR have the finest selection of vehicles in town. Whether you're looking for a brand new Honda, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram, or a pre-owned make and model of any kind, we've got you covered. We work with all types of budgets, so why wait? Come see for yourself why nobody beats the All-Star CDJR and Honda of Muskogee teams. Go Ruffers, and have a great game.
Welcome back to Runt's Barbecue, the home of the Muskogee Ruffer Football Coaches Show. And it seems like, Travis, with the Coaches Show here at Runt's Barbecue comes the crowd, and it's been an in and out of the door continual rotation of people. A lot of people with coming in, picking up food to go. Some of them taking food home with them, like Bookie's going to do here in just a few minutes. But you got to your left 2 guys that are definite playmakers, and 2 big reasons why the Ruffers have an optimistic outlook for a chance to chase another gold ball here in 2024.
Absolutely, 2 great athletes. 2 characters on top of that. When you kind of put this together, you just try to kind of pair it up the best you can,
sure,
and like that. And so I thought putting these 2 guys on together will be good. They both, they're not lack of words and little nonsense in the locker room and all that stuff, and I say that in a very positive way.
Absolutely.
Bring a lot of character to our football team, a lot of excitement to our football team, and obviously if you've been watching us, EJ's got a touchdown in every game so far besides 1. Is that correct, EJ? I think that's correct.
Yes, sir.
Exciting football player, corner, getting a lot of opportunity to look at colleges. And like I said, watching Dre the last 3 years and the dynamics that he has and brings to our football team are just so unique. And another young man's getting recruited by a lot of people. So 2 very talented kids, great kids, and do great in the classroom, Bill. And like I said, again, just positives. They're just fun to have around. They bring character, and a good character, to our football team.
Let's start with the guy furthest away from Coach. That's Edward E.J. James. Do you prefer Edward or do you like E.J.?
I
like EJ.
Because when it's Edward, that's Mama calling you, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good deal.
Gotcha.
Talk to me about this season for yourself. Coach mentioned you've had success catching the football. How does that help you as a receiver when you're playing on the defensive side as a cornerback?
It really just helps me identify what the receiver is doing when I'm on the defensive side.
All right, and then when you go over on that defensive side and you're looking eye to eye to that receiver that you're going to have to match up against, how do you know how to be in the right spot at the right time and break on the football and make the play?
It's really just his release, and if it's a deep ball and his eyes get really big, that's when I know the ball's coming.
Because your eyes get big too when the ball's coming your way.
Yes, sir.
So when the ball's coming your way and you're behind everybody, I mean you're 10 yards behind everybody and the ball's floating through the air, what are you thinking about? Be truthful.
Mm-hmm. I'm beat, but I'm never beat.
No, not you being beat. You're beating somebody.
Oh. I'm going to catch this ball and score.
Yeah, just don't drop it, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Now, the guy that's closest to Coach, who's wearing the red and blue that says something about Jayhawks, Andre Beasley. Where's number 3 from the Muskogee Roughers? And Dre, obviously, I know you didn't have the best start of this 2024 campaign because you had to sit on the sideline. How hard was that for you to see your teammates out there competing and you having to nurse through that shoulder situation?
Sometimes I want to play, but like Coach Hill, he did a good job of kind of sitting me, trying to teach me a little lesson, and yeah, basically.
When he says that, it's hard on us too.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because, as I told into the audience, if it was state finals or state semifinals, Dre, go play, okay?
Right.
But we're so early in the year, why don't we try to get it in? We was in a position with a bye week coming up too to clean it up. And I'm thinking we got lucky and the Lord blessed and everything else and the kid that did exactly what he's supposed to do. So we're not having to fight through the rest of the year to try to keep healthy. I think he's fully healthy from it, and I'm hoping now that he's reaping the benefits from it.
You were able to get back out there in the field against Ponca City, and it just seemed like there was an extra gear. We've always known 3 was quick, but it seemed like, Dre, you had a little bit of extra energy in your veins and made you run a little bit faster. Talk about that excitement to get back out there.
I would say I was very excited. I missed about 3 weeks, so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to give us mine. I was very tired because I ain't played in 3 weeks, so
Yeah, you had a chance to kind of condition yourself back into more action. Both of you guys go both ways, offense and defense. Truth serum, Dre, which side of the football do you want to play?
I would say offense, but defense is more fun.
Okay, why?
You get to hit people.
You get to hit people. Okay, good deal. EJ, same question for you, brother. I mean, you got to put yourself out there on an island as a cornerback, and you got to be in the right spot. But then on the receiving side, you can be the guy that creates the toast on the opposing defensive back. Which is your favorite and why?
Like Dre said, defense. It's got to get, because I get to hit people.
You get to hit people. Okay, Coach. Now, as the defensive-minded coach that you are, how do you coach these guys to strike with fear?
Well, I mean, we work it every day, and both of them do enjoy collisions and make it. And it's kind of interesting to always hear that, which side they really fall on. And, like I said, I'm a big believer defense wins championships. So,
absolutely.
I think both these guys are going to be huge involved in getting that done if we're capable of getting that done. So for them to go over and be able to work both sides of the football for us as needed and through the process of a game plan and understand it, there'll be times actually where Dre will go in for EJ on defense and vice versa. Okay, so to work together and understand situations and why that would happen and why it's not better. He's better here, he's better there. It's just simply playing through the game of processing who's tired, reps, and everything else. So they do a great job with it. He's excited to see that. And they both, like I said, they are dynamic on both sides of football.
I'm going to let you ask these guys a question because you kind of smiled when you were introducing them and talked about their character and their personalities in the locker room. So, Coach, your turn to pitch the questions to Dre and EJ.
Dre and EJ, Dre, when you guys go out there on the field, do you ever take any of those antics out there that the Coach Hill doesn't see out there on the field? Would that be practice or a game?
What do you mean by that?
Well, by that, I mean, we obviously we like to give each other a hard time. You guys do. Do you take that out on the field, too, with you during practice?
No, I just go out there when we just practice. I'm really blank at practice.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. EJ, do you take some things out there? Because you've always been a practical joker, so to speak. For lack of better
boss. True.
You take some of that on the field with you every once in a while?
Yeah, sometimes.
I got you. Yeah.
I mean, they got to earn their respect. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Now, you've also kind of made yourself involved in some other activities. Talk about some of the things you'll do after football, right? What things are you involved in?
I'll probably be in track again. Thinking about basketball, but probably not. Probably just do track.
Okay, what events?
Probably 100-meter relay and long jump.
Okay. EJ, how about you? I know you seemed to fall in love with the three-point shot last year.
Probably basketball and track.
Okay, and what events in track?
400, 4x4, and 300 hurdles.
Nice to see that relay team go back to the state meet with it.
Yes, sir.
Be able to chase the goal ball. What are your anticipations? What are your expectations, Dre, for the rest of the football season?
I would say keep growing as a team, trying to find a leader to lead this team to a state championship. Keep growing.
Okay. EJ, you're saying?
Really, like Dre just said, just get back to the championship game, win it, and find a leader on the team.
Okay, you guys both have said find a leader. Define leader. What are you looking for either from yourself or from a teammate to be that leader, that guy that's going to pull all the strings together into one unique and one focused group to be able to accomplish the goal both on offense, defense, and week by week? What do you want from that leader? Who you looking for? Not specifically naming a player, but what's the type of person you're looking for, Dre?
I would say someone who's hardworking and encouraging to their teammate.
Okay.
Really somebody who really takes charge, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay, now I'm going to put the pressure on you. Why not you?
There you go. EJ, you go first.
You ready to accept that challenge?
Yes, sir.
All right. Dre, how about you?
I'm trying to still be leader for the team.
Okay, all right. Well, so there you go. Got 2 votes.
No, and they do. Trust me.
Yeah, they do.
And I would let you know, even if they didn't. Publicly, I'm not into all that. They do a great job. But as what I think they're saying is that we know that the challenges are coming.
Yeah.
And we got to make sure we step up. And they will in their own little way. And I think they've really learned about leadership. It's nothing you pretend. It's not a fake deal. It's just be yourself, but take on the responsibility. And I think they're all learning how to do that and learning how it's hard whenever it's called being unselfish.
Right.
And it's just a tough thing to do for an adult, much less a young person.
Well,
so,
Tony Dungy puts it uncommon. Because if it was common, everybody would, and easy, everybody would do it.
But I really like the way that everybody's trying to put their 2 cents in and do it the right way.
Absolutely. Just like the members of the coaching staff did, we
Trying
talked about a moment ago.
Yep.
Everybody needs to be a leader, and that's what the Ruffers will continue to seek each and every week when they go on the field against whomever the opponent. Speaking of opponents, homecoming Friday night at Ruffer Village. Bartlesville will be the opponent. Coach Hill and I will talk about this Friday night's encounter at Ruffer Village after this time out on the Tuesday Night Coaches Show live from Runt's Barbecue.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Proudly serving the elderly of the Muskogee community, Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center is a skilled nursing facility empowering better living through long-term care as well as many other respite care options. And coming soon to Broadway, the Memory Care Unit. At Broadway Care Rehabilitation, the amazing therapy department can help you or your loved one get back on their feet. Contracted with most major insurances, follow them on Facebook and see many of the enriching activities offered to the residents. Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center, proud to support the Muskogee Ruffers.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com.
Have you been injured as a result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you are dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
Welcome back to Runt's Barbecue, home of the every Tuesday night Muskogee Rougher Football Coaches Show. Bill Huddelston along with Travis Hill. And Travis, we were talking about leadership, and it's leadership that's going to make the difference the second half of the season. You're halfway home to the regular season. You're not halfway home to the next goal, and that's to win a district title. Mm-hmm. But you take a big opportunity this Friday night to go 3-0 against a Bartlesville Bruin football team who is hungry, still looking for number one, and maybe makes that an even more dangerous foe.
I would agree with you. There's a lot of ties here. We played a game earlier in the year, 49-48. I told you it wouldn't take too long that we could just say that was a W, but we're going to resort back to it here. Coach over at
Brian Pratt?
No, Brian Pratt. Harry
Wright.
Thank you. Coach Wright coached over there.
Yep.
So they got all that information.
Sure.
Okay, so they're going to know all the things that they were able to have success with and everything like that. So it'll be a great competition. And here's the deal. I mentioned in the, as we got show started, they've lost a lot of games. And, man, they have lost tight games. And, so to say they don't know how to win, maybe that's the case on tight games. But they've played really good football. They're an explosive offensive football team. Defensively, they're young, and they are young across the board. But on the offense, with a senior-led quarterback that I think is a very good quarterback, number 8, the wide receiver, and I'd like to say names, but I'll butcher them, so we're just going to leave them at numbers. Extremely good football players, well coached. Coach Wright has gone over there, and you're saying that because you're playing them this week. No, they are well coached. They know exactly where they're supposed to be, do a good job. Just the technical things they do in the offensive line, the way they trap and do their things, you can tell they are really, really well coached. So, Bill, they are a dangerous foe, and they're very hungry. And, there's obviously a little animosity between the two programs.
Sure.
And so bottom line is that they are a dangerous opponent coming into our place, and we need to play well.
Well, certainly. I mean, if you looked at the scores, and with the exception of the game one against Newcastle, which kind of got out of hand, they're in a real fast turnaround. I mean, it's a 2-point loss to Claremore. It's a 2-touchdown loss to Collinsville, and then it's a loss to Sand Springs, and then last week in overtime, a very disappointing finish against Sapulpa. You have to think that this Bruin squad is ready to come out of their shell.
Yep, and I do think once they get this game over with, they're probably going to go the rest of the year without losing one. So he's got through the meat of the schedule, and I'm sure hoping that we don't give him any more incentive or give them any more incentive.
Don't become a barbecue rib.
No, don't do that, please. And so, but no, they're a team that's hungry, and like I said, they do got enough senior leadership over there at the quarterback position and some really good athletes that I do think that they're a program that like I said, will surprise some people here at the end of the year.
Keys for the Roughers to pick up win number 6, but more importantly, 3-0 in league play.
3-0 in league play. Here, it's real simple. Offensively, let's don't turn the football over. And well, that's easy, Coach. You always say that, but it's the truth. If our offense gets possessions, and we're going to have a lot of success there.
Move the chains.
And so, defensively, we are not changing. Our philosophy is the same. Our schematically is just a little tweak here and there, but we're really coming after them. And that you may say, well, that would be a hint that you're coming after them, blitzing and all that. No, we're going to go be an aggressive defensive football team. I feel like we've set back on our heels, and that's my fault, okay? I'm not allowed to just turn us loose. I'm kind of a pretty conservative defensive guy, so we're getting ready to get after it and see if we can't let our kids turn our kids loose and a little bit more aggressive, because that's the one thing we got to get stops. We got to get people off the field, and we've done a lot better job with that here lately, but we're going to get tested again with a team, like I said, that's going to be very knowledgeable about what we do and has the players in order to, the Jimmies and Joes, so to speak, to make some things happen. So it'll be interesting to go through this process and see if we can come through.
There's a coin flip that you have every Friday night before you start. It's either heads or tails, but there's also another side, that edge. The coin never lands on the side. But I think one area that's been an edge for the Roughers has been the kicking game.
Yeah, it's great stuff because we have we've watched some kids progress. Bird is, you just think about your specialist when you get there. We got one over here to our left that we interviewed. Andre does a great job as a punt returner. EJ's back there involved in our kicking game in several aspects of it. But, probably the old Reese Summerhill is going to come on the program here probably in a couple of weeks, and to watch what he's progressed as a kicker. And
Not just on PATs. I'm talking about kickoffs.
No, this young man has worked his tail end off, and you're starting to see the benefits of that, and we just love it every day. And I've always been known to harass kickers, so I just still keep doing that. But I really say that we got a great relationship. He thinks I'm funny, so he tells me that the ball is my face, and he's kicking it. And it's good to see that. Again, like I said, we got a lot of characters on our football team that do a great job. So no, it is it's another area of strength that I really really happy with.
Well, it'll be homecoming celebration Friday night at Indian Bowl, the big parade downtown. Friday at noon, I think is the time.
Correct.
The parade will get started. No school. Any particular scheduling plans you have to do with the football team because there is not the everyday Friday schedule?
Well, we try to keep in our routine as much as we can. So, yes, they'll be up early. I say early, 9 a.m. To have a pregame, or not even call that a pregame, a breakfast. Make everybody accountable in that way, and then we'll march down and do our little parade and expectations. And then typically on game days that we don't have school, then we'll meet up at 2 o'clock at our particular place and have some downtime, a little extra time with film and everything before we do eat our true pregame and get ready to go play.
Coach, I'm going to let you finish this shrimp because it's making me hungry again.
Yes, it is.
When you come to Runts Barbecue, if you leave here hungry, it's your own fault. For head coach Travis Hill and for our guest, Justin Buki Ficklin, I have to laugh every time I say it. I'm sorry. Andre Beasley and Edward E.J. James, thank you for joining us on this Tuesday night coaches show for Runts Barbecue. We hope to see you Friday night at the Village when Muskogee takes on Bartlesville in week number 6 of high school football action. But until next Tuesday night, same place, same time, remember it's always a great day to be a Rougher.